Okay, today I want to teach you how to balance a chemical equation, and we're going to do a couple of examples. Okay, so we're talking about a chemical equation. Let's just suppose we have H2, that's hydrogen gas, and we have O2, which is oxygen gas, and together they form H2O, which is water vapor. Okay, well, in order for this equation to be balanced, it has to have the same number of hydrogens on the left as it does on the right, and it has the same number of oxygens on the left as it does on the right in order for it to be balanced. These are your reactants, and over here on your products. What goes in must come out. Matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. So one of the ways I like to do this is I like to make a little table. And over here, these are my reactants. This is in the before. And over here would be my products. This is what happens. So this is the after part over here. I have two elements that are involved. So I'm just going to make a couple of rows here. This is going to be my hydrogen, and this is my oxygen. And then I do a tally count. When I look over here, I see 2 hydrogens. So I'm going to come over here and put a 2. And this means 2 oxygen. So I'm going to put 2 oxygen. And then over here on this side, I have 2 hydrogen. But I only have 1 oxygen. So by looking at that real quick, I can see, oh, well, my hydrogens are already balanced. I just need to get my oxygens to balance, right? That's my goal here. Now, I am not allowed to change anything in this chemical formula. I cannot come up here and just put a 2 here, because if I do, this is no longer water vapor. It would become hydrogen peroxide. And that is not what this is producing. It's producing water vapor. So I can't change the formula. The only thing I'm allowed to change is what is called the coefficient, which goes in front of each molecule here. So in order for me to get 2 oxygen on this side, I'm going to have to put a 2 here. Now, what does that mean? That means 2 of this molecule. In other words, I have an H2O and I have an H2O, which means now I have a total of 4 hydrogen. I have 2 oxygen, but I also have 4 hydrogen. So I no longer have 2 here. I now have 4. So in order to get 4 hydrogen on the other side, I'm going to have to come over here and multiply that times 2. Now that means I have H2 and I have H2. I have 2 of them. So I have an H2 and I have an H2, which means I have a total now of 4 hydrogen on that side. So I have 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. Oh, forgot to change it. And 2 oxygen. So now this is balanced. And my coefficients are 2, 1, and 2. I don't have to write a 1 here because it's understood. But if it helps you, you can always put a 1 there. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do Zn plus HCl. I'm going to write the Cl that way. That's kind of a little easier to tell it's not a number. And then ZnCl2 plus H2 gas. Okay, I'm going to make my little table. I have 3 elements again. This time I have zinc, I have hydrogen, and I have chlorine. And as I do look over here and do my count, it's 1, 1, 1. When I look over here, I have 1 zinc. Be sure you're on the right line. For hydrogen, there's 2. And for chlorine, there are 2. So when I look here, that's easy enough, because in order to get 2 hydrogen on this side, over here on the left where the reactants are, I would just have to come in here and put a 2 here. Now that's 2 times that, because that means I have 2 of that molecule. So now I have 2 hydrogens, and I also have 2 chlorines. And this is balanced. It has the coefficients of 1, 2, 1, 1. This is understood. You don't have to write that in there if it's a 1. But if the question was to ask you, like on a test, what coefficients are needed to balance this equation, that's what you would put, is 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay? If you have any trouble with that, you just be sure to pop into class and I'll be glad to help you with it. Have a great day.